Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Dolphins going up against the Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to CenturyLink Field to link up with our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And you know, Charles, as Larry pointed out in the open, got a couple of great quarterbacks set to square off here this afternoon. That ball's probably going to be flying all over the place, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And the game has never been more quarterback-centric than it is now. And both of these teams have top-flight signal callers.
Set to go now on a prototypical rainy northwestern afternoon. And off we go from Seattle. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, look at the juke. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And a Russell Wilson-led Seattle Seahawks offense takes the field. And last year, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions as we look back at 2016 for Russell Wilson. And made the playoffs, but the bar's been set so high in Seattle. And did you call this past year a success for Wilson and company?
No, because that's what Seattle's all about. For them to not get back to the Super Bowl, none of them would deem the season a success. But I thought they made progress because, remember, that offensive line was in shambles. By the end of the year, they were starting to play a little bit better. I thought Justin Britt at center was especially good. But for Russell Wilson, he's proven now he can carry a team, but he's better when they still are tailback-centric.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Second down following the run. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Look at the time. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Baldwin coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance. He had career highs, Charles, in catches with 94, over 1,100 yards. That also a career high. Pretty good season for Doug Baldwin.
And I think the place that he really started to take off was midway through 2015. The connection between he and his quarterback, Russell Wilson, where they were playing more from the pocket, bigger plays downfield, that just propelled him into 2016. That, and anything he perceives as a slight, he uses it to his advantage, and he just goes out and plays.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 39 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Pushkin now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And there is Ryan Tannehill bringing out the Miami Dolphins, finishing the season just shy of 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks, Charles. Unable to play, of course, in the playoff game. Had to be hard for him to sit that one out.
Had to be very hard for him because I thought he finished the season with a flourish. And this was a monster year for Ryan Tannehill in his development as an NFL quarterback. And I thought he passed the test. And I think 2017, he's eager for it, as is his head coach, Adam Gase.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They run again with Ajayi. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end a season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see his season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Holding offense. The penalty is declined.
So on 4th down, the Dolphins will ask Matt Darr to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got time. And to the left side here, Wilson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
You can say a lot of things about the great play of Kiko Alonso, but the number one thing you will say, he will hit you.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. he's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now Wilson on first down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 45 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Hauschka now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. Muscles him off. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. And Landry just snuck into the top 10 this year in receiving yardage, 1,136, finishing the year with 94 catches.
And what makes him super dangerous is his ability to convert from being a wide receiver to a running back after making the catch. Because I've talked with a number of defensive backs in the NFL, and all of them, independent of each other, say the exact same thing. Tackling him in the open field is difficult, and he leaves an impact when you do actually bring him down.
And that's going to be incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
And the Seahawks had a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Tannehill now to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. So a big 3rd down hookup here will take us to the break. Plenty of scoring here already. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Tannehill now to give to Ajayi. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Sideline throw, that's caught by Landry. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They snap it to Tannehill. And it is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he made him buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so, because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, the bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He hits Jermaine Kearse. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Still 2nd down.
And they're pushed back after the penalty, still 2nd down. On 2nd down, Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
To throw is Tannehill, and his throw is incomplete. His tight end Jordan Cameron, the intended target. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And Cameron has it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Second down now after the pass completion. To the air again, Tannehill. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Tannehill throwing again. Finding time. Drops it off to Ajayi. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throwing again is Tannehill. Surveying the field. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tight end, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
So now on 4th down, on trots the Dolphins field goal unit and Andrew Franks. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Look at the spin. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first-half highlights. Seahawks have it at the 40. Wilson's going to find his mark, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score, giving them an early lead. Seahawks have it midway through the first. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and he'll be tackled at the 46-yard line. Later on the drive, Graham's able to get open here, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them up by 2 touchdowns. Now to late in the second. Tannehill's on point with the throw, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. Dolphins would stall out and settle for a field goal. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Here comes Grant on the return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now it's Ajayi. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And he's got him. It's the tight end, Cameron. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And his throw here is incomplete. Stills the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less
to become
culture
the Rams.
shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on third down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Matt Darr now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. On second down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the eye. On second down, Rawls. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Wilson going to hand it to Procise. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Wilson, a give to Rawls. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back in the 24. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Now Wilson on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll make it third down. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Third and long, it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And Ndamukong Suh coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So Wilson will head to the sideline, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
And the Seahawks defense working their way back out onto the field. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now and hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's got time in the pocket. Great protection. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Tannehill on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Tannehill throwing again. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. To the air again, Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1, couldn't get the ball. So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. Again, Tannehill over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Now it's Andrew Franks on for Miami. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They start on the ground with Rawls. And he cuts left, and he's got an alley. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 60 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's 21-3. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So bad mistake there by the kickers. The ball goes out of bounds.
Automatic first down.
Now a first down throw. Tannehill throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. They'll get 16 yards there. And it's first down, Miami. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now it's Tannehill. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Second and 10, Tannehill once more. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he's got him. It's the tight end, Cameron. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On first and 10, Tannehill, incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Throwing again is Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Tannehill on first down. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jay Ajayi from 10 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They go again with Rawls. And a short gain. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, what a juke into space. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. C.J. Procise, 36 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Here's Hauschka for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one taken from the 7. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And out come the Dolphins now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this.
Jarvis Landry, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 52 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Franks to add the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Let's put our attention here now on the Dolphins defense. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.